Hello everybody, welcome to a Garten of Banban 2 explanation video. Alright, so what is Garten of Banban 2 about? Glad you asked. Continue the story of Banban's kindergarten, delve or dive deeper into the bizarre establishment where the place was left suspiciously empty. Try to survive the unexpected residents, all while uncovering the truth behind the place. By the way, Garten Banban lore video tomorrow as well. Plan on doing a 7-day thing since only or I guess 8 games are out of Garten Banban 0-2. So yeah, but let's dive in to Garten Banban 2. Alright, so we start off at 10 a.m. with the Garten of Banban clock. As always, for a parent looking for the missing child, time is a delicate matter. So we start off, and what we see here so far is 4 tables, 8 chairs, and nothing else. That's it. It's just a happy birthday room so far. At 11 a.m., we see a chair moved, and a cake was placed. The chair moved a little bit. I'm gonna zoom in on it, and the cake appeared as well near the happy birthday confetti, or I don't know what you call those things. I guess flyers. Don't know the name of it. At 12 p.m. everything looks normal, but the emergency alarm has turned on, or you can say lit up. You know, like you can now press it if you want to. At 1 p.m., what we see is one of the desks. No, my bad. The table and 2 chairs disappeared. Nothing else has changed, just the table and the desk. Or, I mean, the chairs and the desk. At 2 p.m., we see another table and 2 chairs disappeared. Nothing else has changed, just that. Alright, now at 3 p.m., no tables are gone anymore, but the lights are out. And that's it. Just the lights are out. Everything is not the same. I mean, there's some remodeling, you could say. But that's it. Alright, now let's move on to the story. So we start off in the abyss where we fell in when the elevator broke down, when Jumbo Josh took us down. He seems to be unconscious. We get a orange key card that's conveniently there, and our broken up, let's just say, remote. Yeah, busted up remote. Alright, after we open the 2 doors that was locked, we find a conveniently placed pink key card and a note. The note reads, "This is it. The things we've done have finally come back to bite us. Everyone's gone, and the whispers from the abyss just keep getting louder. I think oh my lord, I stuttered. I even saw a face or 2 looking up at me. We were told everything that gets thrown into the abyss dies, but it appears we were tricked. If you're reading this, take my advice and leave. Everything here should be forgotten and erased from history." So, as you can see, a worker was a little bit insane. You know, he left us a note, or for the person that's gonna come back here, to just basically dip. Don't go further. The kid ain't worth it, or something like that, you know, basically. And the so-called abyss, we are in the, you know, abyss, but I think we're like on the 1st floor of the abyss, I guess. I guess there's maybe levels to this. Alright, after we move the platform, we find this is an elevator to success, but stairs are a good exercise from Singerflan. Then we see on the wall the spider is real. Then we find a note under the... I don't know how you call these. I think they're just tables. Yeah, tables, I guess. Yeah, they're tables. And, you know, we're gonna grab the note. It reads, "The spider is real, the spider is real, and these tables won't hold it back." I'm not gonna say all of this. You know what? The spider's real. The spider's real. The spider's real. Okay, never mind. But if you know these 3 tables, I think they're from the birthday room that we got earlier. And we see right here a weirdly blue-looking thing. We don't know what it is, but it's looking at us. It's not attacking. It might be, you know, checking us out. The spider's real, and it is coming. Spider doesn't seem to be attacking us, but it seems to be just stalking us for now. And he has a birthday hat too, and he goes away into the abyss. Yeah, that's our first encounter that we see with him. As we continue to explore, we hear
Hey,
someone
you there.
speaking to us through the
I can
cameras.
see you on the cameras. I am so happy to see you. And I need your help with something. Wait, can you even hear me? Hello? Listen, if you can hear what I'm saying, wave at any camera. Oh, thank God. I'm so glad you're here. I thought this was the end. I was looking around and walked into the security room. Then the door closed behind me and I've been stuck inside since. It needs a light blue key card to open, but I don't have it. I know why you're here and I can help you, but you've got to get me out of here. If I recall correctly, only maintenance workers held the light blue key card. So you're gonna have to go down to the maintenance room and look there. The door there is probably locked as well, and I can't open it from here, but I do have control over the break room door. Here, I open it for you. See if you can find anything useful in there.
So this suspicious person knows why we're here and is trying to help us, but in exchange we gotta help him free him from the security room. And what we get is a fixed antenna to our to our remote. And this is the room, the birthday room, where we saw in the beginning with the Banban clocks. But we go to the counter. I'm gonna guess this is some sort of receptionist desk. We find a note. It reads, okay, this is K6, case type 2, update to Elias, the code name, the devil. Communication with K6 has provided invaluable information that may explain why previous cases have sorely failed, as well as improve the creation of future cases. Despite being seemingly incredible, intelligent, it does not appear to recognize itself as non-human. When addressed as a non-human, K6 reacts with confusion. Reactions also have no effect, as K6 appears to see itself as a human genome donor. A meeting between K6 and the human genome donor has not yet been conducted. K6 describes a constant immense pain that's present in the entirety of its body. Despite the human genome donor to K6 being a doctor, the case has failed to give a description more detailed than the pain having to do with the blood flow. K6 has no blood in their system, only gynavium. K6 is not ready for a presentation. So basically, a doctor, the donor, gave K6 some of his, I'm gonna guess, blood and gynavium, which flows through him. I guess they needed, like, oh no, the doctor's DNA likely, and they mixed it with gynavium. Gynavium is his blood, and the DNA is his humanly shaped, probably. He might be like a human shaped, person. So we go back to speak with the guy that's controlling the cameras.
I lost mine a couple of weeks ago. Maintenance workers used them for all sorts of things, like reaching high places and grabbing things that fell into the abyss, and sometimes even comfort. It's good that you have one. It might be useful in our little conundrum. Take a look around and see if you can figure out how to get into the maintenance room. I'm unsure if it can be of much help, but wave at the cameras if you need my insight.
Alright, so after we completed the puzzle, a closet opened, or a door. Let's just say a closet. It looks like a closet.
Sweet! Now you can go down to the maintenance room. Remember, you're looking for a light blue key card. Good luck and thank you.
Alright, before we continue, these are the characters: Slow, Sea Lion, Jumbo Josh, Bambalina, Banban, Opila Bird, which I think we broke his beak or something earlier, Captain Fiddle, Stinger Flynn, and Sheriff Toadster. And to the far left, we see this blue-looking spider thing with a big mouth and a party hat, which we saw earlier before, if you guys were listening along. I bet you guys skipped 10 seconds or 15 seconds ahead, huh? Yeah. Yeah, I bet you did. All right. So, yeah, that's the, he seems to be in the dark. He seems he doesn't, or maybe the mascots pushed him away or something, but he seems to be in the darker side. Like, you know, he's like the outcast. Let's just say he's like an outcast. Alright, so we start going down to the maintenance, but we see a few people, and the blue spider is called Nabnab. Nabnab say it's okay to have no friends and be miserable like me. So we find out the name of the blue-looking spider that we saw earlier. Name's Nabnab. Then we see Sheriff Toadster says, treat others how you would be like to be treated with respect. And slow sea line. I may be slow, but I'm quick to help anyone in need. Oh yeah, trust me, man. He can probably speed blitz the Flash even. I was gonna say someone else, but if I were to say, some people might come at me. Alright, so we got the light blue key card, and when we were about to leave, we look above and we see Nab coming our way. He is trying to probably kill us, annihilate us, but who knows. So we run back past these shelves to go back to where we came from. So we managed to escape Nab. Some shelves fell on them, or not fell on them, but it blocked our path. So we get the light blue key card and open the door that he's supposedly stuck in, but he's not stuck in there. And we find a note on the table. It reads, if you read this fast enough, you might escape. I plan to sneak up on you. Sorry, I plan to sneak up on you and hit you very hard while you are occupied with reading this note.
Three birds with one stone. I'll get all of your key cards, I'll get the perfect specimen, and I don't have to deal with that thing down there. And it's all thanks to you. Oh, come on. I didn't hit you that hard. Or maybe I did. Either way, it's best you take a nap while I prepare for our little surgery.
Alright guys, I'm going to try to explain this as quick as possible so I don't take too much of your time. So we wake up after Banban knocks us out and he takes us to some sort of basement, medic room type room. We find a key card and turn on two red buttons that are conveniently on the wall. And as we see on the floor that there's blood or gynamium splattered all over, then we find a note. It reads, Case 6, Case Type 2, Update 1. So the first ever document of Alias the Devil. The procedure on Case 6 has been a success. Case 6 is stable and performs tasks that are necessary for organic beings, such as eating and drinking as predicted, despite the lack of any biological necessity needed to do so. So he doesn't need to eat or drink anything to survive. As previously observed on other cases with humans as the primarily gnome, Case 6 recalls many memories and events belonging to the original genome donor as their own, excluding intelligence. Case 6 is also capable of speech as fluently as the original genome donor, like a human donor. Unlike the previous cases with humans as the primary genome, Case 6 is interestingly docile and cooperative. Albert, very confused about the... Okay, I can't even read that. Hold on, give me a moment. Okay, my bad. Cooperative. Albert, very confused about the circumstances. Most previous cases displayed extremely hostile and nervous behavior towards staff and children alike, a behavior that has been attributed to the new genetical modifications that were applied. Man, they use big words, and these words could be more simpler, man. Okay, my bad, but sorry that I couldn't pronounce these words properly. So after we swipe the yellow key card, a elevator comes down. We swipe it again to go up to wherever we need to go. So we make it to a room that looks like a hospital or maybe a medic room or maybe a learning class. I can't say for sure, but we get a syringe, and what we need to do with the syringe is get 8 samples of these guys on the wall. We do not know what they are yet, so but we need 8 samples of these guys. And by the looks of it, it says right here the blue one needs to be distracted before extraction. Maybe that one's a little bit dangerous, but who knows. So, as we continue to explore and try to find all the samples, as we continue to explore, we find a note. It reads, Case 1, Gynavium, Update 20, GV. This is neither a report nor anything informative in the traditional sense, but a cry for help. Whoever's reading this, I implore you to discuss stopping this madness once and for all. Matters are bound to be sugar-coated with a written through some colorful paper, but you do not seem to understand how bad things truly are. Every single case has been developed this far is in an endless, executing pain. Endless pain. We do not know why, and maybe we are not meant to. I cannot imagine any of them ever being near a child, and maybe they should never be. It would be unrealistic to shut down everything or to shut down everything down. Ab- abruptly, abruptly. So all I'm asking for is for you to get down here and see things for yourself. Do not live up to the faceless corporate entity stereotype, please. All right. So as you can see, someone sent a complaint, not through some sort of like creature update. It's just he just wrote that note to let us know whoever was gonna read this. So we see on the wall, child, baby, elephant, and fish. We do not know what that's about, but no matter. So as we continue to get gynavium samples, we find another document. Yes, you're about to hear me read again. I don't know what happened. 1 second they were as docile and peaceful like as a kindergarten toddler, and the next they were ripping the place apart. I think the loud crash might have startled them. I didn't know they were that prone to their instincts. Myself and the rest of the survivors are currently cornered in the main hallway. We are running low on ammo and energy to defend ourselves. At least this cannon prop they brought here the other day is finally being put to use. It's only a matter of time before we're left defenseless, and when we do, I hate to think about those things will do to us. We're heading for the lower levels. When we see an opening, nobody's been down there in a while. It should be a safer place to wait this out if we make it. I must leave it at that because I'm getting yelled at for writing this and not helping. Save yourself and get out of here if you can. So as you can see, maybe the crash happened recently. Maybe we were the crash. I mean, it says right here they heard a crash and they started going wild out. But at the same time, that's probably not the case. It was probably before we came here. But oh, probably the crash when the Opila bird and the kids went down here and Jumbo Josh was racking and stuff. So that was probably the noise they were talking about. But yeah, as we continue to get gynavium samples, we have to go get the blue one. So after we get all gynavium samples, we get our rockets. What's the rocket used for? It's to shoot at the blue fiddles. We're just gonna call them blue fiddles to get them away to the eye, which probably hurts. I mean, not gonna lie, my eye. Oh, he disappears because that hurts, and I don't know where he disappears to though. Just gone. But we swipe our yellow key card, enter a room, which is also looks like a medic room, and we find another note. It reads, Case 12G, Bryantoloris hyperoxanthus, Gynavium, Update 5, the child monkey, which we never heard of. Case 12G has surpassed all other subcases in all presented attributes, which includes intelligence, agility, and imitation, basically copying the other person. As desired, Case 12G intimidates or copy the behavior of a very obedient human toddler, which is perfect to showcase appropriate behavior to real children. real children. Case 12G shows extreme levels for stress when not near the assigned caregiver, but the levels of stress do not turn into violent fits of rage as observed in another Case 12's only when has been deciphered as crying. In terms of intelligence, Case 12G is capable of performing simple mathematical operations, using not only shapes but also the traditional number system. However, Case 12G is incapable of compressible speech, means he can't speak properly. In terms of agility, Case 12G shows exceptional stamina, above average stamina, with climbing abilities that surpass those of primates. Okay, well, basically saying this monkey's superior, basically. So we found the way out. We swipe our pink key card, and we see in the distance where we started that there's blood splattered on the floor, like someone was either running away or crawling when they were injured. We don't know what caused this, but it might have been Jumbo Josh, but at the same time, it's kind of hard to see how Jumbo Josh could fit through the door. As you can see, Jumbo Josh is not here no more. He left the area. Yeah, I don't know if Jumbo Josh has some transformation skills. But yeah, Gynavium goes to the abyss, but then we see to our left this mysterious figure. We do not know what it is, but it's a blue, no eyes, no nose, no mouth, just sitting there, not attacking us. He's just there. We have no like information on him as of now, but he seems to be a nice creature that doesn't try to harm us. So as we continue to do puzzles, we find another note. All right, it reads: Case 10, the bird, Opila bird. After the recent genetic modifications that were applied to Case 10, significant behavior changes that have been observed, like an improvement. I know some of y'all don't know the big words like I do. I just can't say them, so I'm just trying to. Aggression towards certain demographics has been completely replaced with protective and motherly behavior. Said demographics include individuals of small stature, high-pitched voices, and those with childlike attitudes. So, like I said before, Opila Bird was trying to protect the children. She wasn't trying to harm anybody. She kind of has like a motherly instinct towards the kids. Individuals that do not fall into the demographic are still met with extreme aggression that can turn lethal due to the case's large size and possession of a very sharp beak. Oddly said, demographic. As demographic are almost exclusively human, with exceptions of Case 10A, Case 10B, Case 10C, Case D, Case E, and Case F. All organic organisms, birds include both adults and young, are met with the same level of aggressions as humans who do not possess children-related attributes. Okay, so as we go back to the Garten, or I'm going to show you some Garten of Banban 1. We see blood on the wall because the security guard was likely trying to help the kids, but probably the security guard did not know like Opila Bird didn't like adults. Maybe that might have been the case. He wasn't trying to harm the kids, as you can see, like way before. Like Opila Bird has hand marks on him, like paint marks. That's because children was touching up all up on her. So yeah, that's the case really. As we continue to do puzzles after puzzles, we open this room and we see some red eyes staring at us, which is Opila Bird, which starts chasing us. And we see in the distance this white figurine that looks like the red one that we met earlier. So she told us to come inside to safety, close the door behind us. But that would be the worst mistake that we ever made, basically.
Everyone, I want you all to welcome our newest student.
And she's a little bit
You're late to
delusional,
class.
as you can see.
I'll let it slide
Even
this
though we're
time
not a
since it's
student
your
here, she's
first
saying
day,
we're late
but
to
be
class,
late again and have
first day
repeated
and stuff.
pieces. You're new
yeah,
and unpopular student, so you will have to sit with the unpopular. This class is going to be great. I can feel it. Wait, what was that? I wonder if it's a new student. Nobody move while I check it out.
Alright, so I decided not to show y'all all the class stuff. So, yeah, we escaped the teacher because she wanted us to stay there almost for like our whole like entire lives, basically doing math problems. What we see in the distance is 6 Opila birds. I think 5 are female and 1 is male. I might be right or wrong. I mean, the colors are different. They might just be different, but you have to get all of these 6 birds and put them in the nest. So, after we open the door, Opila Bird is waiting for us, but she hears her chicks chirping at her, and I just go over here to see what she's doing. She's checking up on her babies. As we're leaving, we see this yellow entity. Not entity, but it looks like a snail. A yellow snail that is approaching us very, very slowly. And we can't move while it's moving and looking at us, but when its eyes spread, we can move.
Please. It hurts. I was promised something painless.
Sorry about that, guys. I just wanted to show y'all the secret dialogue that most people probably did not get, since you have to purposely die. So basically, they were experimented on. They were promised things. Of course, they're in pain. They probably want payback or something. The scientists messed them up, but we're doing Stinger Flynn's mission. Get 8 seashells to get your prize, which is a key card to activate another puzzle, which I'm gonna skip so I don't take too much of your time. Ooh, alright, so as we finish the puzzle, we enter this room and we see on the board, slaps, handshake, stings. So, I guess this is a board about the Stinger Flynn mission. So, case update report. Case 1, KJV. My bad. We find a note, and this is what we're reading. I forgot to say that. The case mentioned in the previous report has moved an arm as it is artificial. This nervous system had to work for a split second. Basically, a fake, like a replacement system. How you get like a robot arm, like if you miss your arm like that. As predicted, GV seems to provide identical functions to blood when combined with case 3 and 6 of types 5 mammalian mammalian circularly systems are ineffective. I think it's the blood system, if I'm not wrong. The case of case 2 from the previous report has also had a strange physical effect. GV appears to expand in size where it is set to flow, and as a result, the case has grown a number of veins across its body and has grown sufficiently in size. Neither growth appears to have any kind of negative effect besides the risk of looking unpleasant to use. We are going to proceed with adding more cases of type 5 into the case of type 2 from the previous report in pursuit of a more lifelike behavior. So basically, he can't really move too much, and they saw for a moment that he moved, but then he stopped. So trying to try things with them so he can start moving. They're gonna use type 5 more. The case of tape, blah blah blah, So we go back to the comm center. Since I got our red key card, I didn't show it, but basically we get a firework where we got when we were shooting the cannons, the puzzle. Then we go back to the medical center, where the cannon where we shot the guy's eyes out. But yeah, case 5, case 3, case 6. So both of these people have case 6 cards and case 3 cards. I don't know what that makes sense, but round 56, X, Nab, Toadster, round 56, a snail, blah blah blah. Alright, now let's read all these notes. Alright, it is a lot of notes, so let's get to it. Dear Uthman, I'm writing to you to inform that we have received and assessed your objection to our decision regarding limited the number of cases to conduct tests on to 10, and from 10 to 6. We have collectively decided that we would not honor your request and stick with the intentional decision, with the reasoning being that we simply cannot spare enough resources to make your lovely creations come to life. Is this If this is how much it takes, this is especially the case considering what was already been wasted resources wise with very, very slow progress, and especially after the misunderstanding with case 12 and its sub case which cost us a fortune. We're talking one presentable case of 10 in months. The customers are getting upset because we are not delivering what was promised, and getting sued right now is not in the best interest. As much as we want this to be the case, Ginavian does not grow on trees, and our friends down south can only get us so much. We understand this. I sorry. We understand that this might not be the news you wanted to hear, but this is how it has to be. Use what you have left very carefully and see if you have more presentable cases before the upcoming Bring a Friend Day, which was in Garden of Banban 1. Hey, I just heard the news, and it upsets me just as much as it upsets you. But I do feel we can turn it back around if the six we proceed with turns out well. In fact, we have to turn it back around if we want our little secret down, like in the basement, to stay a secret. Zophius can only stay asleep if nobody goes to investigate. I think so. I think the ones we should drop are the spider, the frog, and the snail. The spiders honestly gives me the creeps, and if it gives me the creeps, it's going to give children the creeps. But the frog's only purpose is to be the police in town, but if there's no bad guys to catch, there's no need for police. I was torn between the green guy and the snail for the last one. I like the snail more, but I feel like it won't be any hyperactive children's favorite, so let's drop that one. But hey, at least we're offered. But hey, at least we were offered to have them drawn on the walls to not let them be forgotten. Cheer up. So basically, the mascots that we saw way earlier, those are the ban all that, and I'm gonna put the snail and the frog and the spider just to show y'all, and the green guy, and let's see, hold on, let me see, green guy. Yep, I'm gonna put all of these guys up so you can see who they're talking about. Time for the final note. Finally, this is bad. This is very bad. I just revised that the architecture behind the ball pit, and it's a miracle this thing hasn't yet collapsed. The thing can barely support the amount of children we have enrolled, like in the kindergarten. We're having that double. Hold up, we're having double that tomorrow. Something really bad is gonna happen. All we need to do, all we need to be as far away from here as humanly possible when it does. We've been on the bad side of the wrong people. Wait, bro, what? Hold up, far away from here as for a long time, and if we're still here when everything goes down, it will be the end of both of us. If not at the hands of angry parents, then at the hands of our superior. Do not bring anyone's attention to this matter unless you wish us both a big involuntary dive into the abyss. A place like this should not exist. The stuff we've witnessed here should not exist. The casualties that will result from this catastrophe, I can't say it, will only serve the greater good, which is shutting down this place once and for all. I have a plan for tomorrow. Now you just pack your things. All right, I'm gonna put on some of these pictures so you guys can see what all these notes we're talking about. So to the right is the documents from Garden of Banban 1. So Distraction Out 1 was with Uthman Adam, and Waverly Mason was likely the teacher that was handling the kids, and some new kids were getting enrolled in the kindergarten and they couldn't support the weight of the ball pit, so they closed it down. But I'm gonna guess something bad happened, and that stuff happens here. Security guard went to go check. That's why the Distraction I won, they both probably left at the same time, same area, so they don't have to deal with the stuff that's about to happen and the casualties that will happen, since the set of kids that were already like in the kindergarten was enough, but like having more kids likely was gonna cause problems. So they were like, yeah, that's not our problem anymore. Let's just leave. But yeah, that's basically it. Whitman Adam and the other person just left. Alright, so we get the 2 tapes that we found and we put in the first tape. So what we see first is some guy playing with Play-Doh. Yes, he's trying to make a creature of some sorts. No, he's trying to make sure, it's a perfect creature, Since, usually when you're playing with Play-Doh, like it falls off. We're gonna give him a gynavium syringe, I think, by the looks of it, or blood, but naturally, probably gynavium. Yep, they're pushing it down into him. Okay, that's surprising. None of the juice is squirted. It looks dried up now, though. So we put in the other tape as well, and that's the same person that knocked us out. Give us a 2-piece with no butter, no biscuit, No sauce on the side, he just knocked us out. So what we see, he's in an enclosure, in a dark room with one light on, and he's just sitting there. Not sitting there, but laying down as if there's no, escape, and he's stuck there. So, yeah, he's just there chilling. So as we're continuing to, escape, or not escape, but dive deeper to find our kids, we find another document. It reads case 10 for the bird. The pink word that we knocked out into the abyss. It remains unknown why case 6 is aggressive towards all adults. Conditioning also remains as effective as it was all in the first report. When has been discovered. However, it's the reasoning behind the seemingly random instance where Case 10's eye became bloodshot. Bloodshot eyes has also been linked to unusually high level of aggressiveness. The behavior has been concluded to be the direct result of Case 10 Winnie seen or hearing the suffering of Case 10A, 10B, 10B, okay, despite having an abnormal color scheme. And any of all individuals possessing childlike attributes. Example said childlike attributes have been described in the second update report. Okay, so it's basically 2 reasons. It's because the kids that he couldn't reach, that's why he was kind of aggressive. And also, we kind of did him dirty like in the first game. He dropped into the abyss and we, messed him up. So the reason why his eyes was bloodshot red when we met like Opila Bird was because he was apart from his kids. He heard the children crying, so he was kind of pissed, because he couldn't reach them. Then we helped him earlier. Then he went to his chicks. All right, so the long stretch. We go down this very long hallway after we did a little bit of a, how can I say, a maze, you could say, or not a maze, but it's like a little bit of a jumping area. And what we see is the cake. Now, some of y'all might be asking or wondering, okay, it's a cake. What about it? Some of y'all probably don't know. This cake is from the office, or from the birthday room that we were in earlier. You can see it from the camera too, like the little, when we start the game, the Banban camera. Yeah, so that's the cake from that room. Banban is appearing to our left. He's in an elevator going up, and that's a safety room basically. I'm gonna let this play out.
On a normal day, you'd be standing where I am, behind the safety of this glass. Like you're in a zoo watching some animals. Speaking of zoos, it's almost assembly time, where all the doors open, so we must keep this brief. Look, I'm sorry I hit you, but you gotta understand. I needed something from you that I could only get if you were unconscious. And I was all out of sedatives. If you'd seen me, you wouldn't have trusted me, I know it. But there was one thing I didn't lie to you about, and that's me knowing why you're here. You're here for your children. I too am working towards saving them, if you can believe it. But someone else has them. Someone far stronger than you and me both, that resides deep in the abyss. Oh no, you've gotta go. There's an elevator in Opila Bird's walkway. Take it and we'll talk again down there.
You've been a bad student.
So as we run away from Bambalina and Jumbo Josh that is chasing us at the moment, we click this key card button and Bambalina gets hit by Jumbo Josh and picked up, and she drops a key card. I'm not trying to drag out this video for too long, so y'all don't, see the unnecessary stuff. But yeah, so Bambolina was chasing us, Jumbo Josh as well, and we managed to escape him. And we see Nab Nab, the stalker. I don't think this is on PC either. I think this is only on console because I tried to do this on PC, did not see him. But yeah, Nab Nab was stalking us. He wasn't trying to attack us or chase us. He was just spectating, you can say. So we swipe our key card and go down to the elevator. So we're going further into the abyss, but if we look up when we're going down, we see the snail that we met earlier. He didn't attack us or anything. The snail wasn't trying to chase us either. But yes, we're going deeper into the abyss. Well, that's the end of the game, basically. Alright, everybody, that's the end of Garten of Banban 2. My explanation on it, or my, explaining it to y'all. Lore video. I hope y'all enjoyed watching me commentate on Garten of Banban 2. And if you guys didn't like it, my apologies. Now some of you guys might be wondering as well, is oh, you made some mistakes, when you were trying to talk or say this word correctly. Listen, I'm not gonna change that out, alright? I try my best to say it, don't get me wrong. I do multiple retries to make sure I say my sentences properly. I have a lot of voiceovers. So yes, hope you guys enjoyed watching me explain Garten of Banban 2. Hope you guys like me, talking about it. But if you guys have any problems with me speaking about the game, apologies. Hope you guys have a good day and night. You guys are the best. Garten of Banban lore video. Garten of Banban 3 lore video is gonna come out tomorrow as well. I plan on doing this until we reach the 7, so look forward to that.